If you have ADHD or you love someone who does, it might be helpful for you to know that task management, task organization, and task prioritization are three different things that work in three different ways in our brain. And personally, I think that's kind of rude. A lot of times for people with ADHD, it's not that we don't want to do the thing or we're lazy or we're putting off the thing. Sometimes procrastination comes out of the fact that our executive functioning makes it difficult to start at the beginning of a project and complete it all the way to the end. It's also kind of important to understand the difference between task management and task organization. They look very similar, but they are two different things. So task management is managing the task from start to finish, right? So say you have to plan a date, right? You're gonna pick a day, you're gonna pick a time, you're gonna pick a restaurant, you're gonna make a reservation, you're gonna get an Uber, and you're gonna get to the date. Pick out an outfit. Don't forget to pick out an outfit. Task organization is sort of like the subcategory underneath task management, where you're going to get all the things that you need to do in order to accomplish each sort of separate task in the task management list, right? So for example, if you need to pick out an outfit, you're going to find your fancy shoes, and you're going to find your nice dress or your nice belt or whatever. All the component pieces that go into managing the task. And then there's task prioritization. Because what task prioritization is basically our brain looking and going is that important? Do I have to do that right now? People with ADHD often struggle with time perception, right? We struggle to estimate how long something will take. We struggle to know how much time has gone by. And we really struggle with planning for the future because of that. Because 2 weeks can feel like 5 minutes if we're hyper focused on the right thing. So that date that you've been meaning to plan for weeks and weeks and weeks is suddenly tomorrow, and you haven't planned anything, and now you feel like an asshole and your partner feels underappreciated. And it's not necessarily your fault, but you want to be a good partner. It's kind of your fault. I didn't want to say that it's your fault, but it's a little bit your fault. Because the thing that we have to do, the thing that is important to know around ADHD is that we have to build systems and structures that help support us through those moments, right? If you know that you have a hard time managing a task all the way to completion, if you know that you have a hard time figuring out what you need in order to complete the task in an organized way, if you know that you have problems with time blindness, or you have problems with task prioritization, what is the most important thing? It's the thing that's right in front of me. No, it's not. It's that date that I was supposed to plan last week. That's really important to know. And that's where we can learn to support ourselves by building systems and structures. Things like using calendars. I'm not going to say use a planner because I'm not a piece of shit. I know. Setting reminders, writing yourself notes, all of those different things that we can do, right? And what works for you may not work for me, right? Google Calendar works really well for me, but I have tons of friends who are I would personally rather die. In fact, this is such a problem in terms of being able to create structures that work for each individual person with ADHD. I wrote a whole book about it. Isn't that neat? It's called the ADHD Field Guide for Adults, and you can pre-order it now if you want. Being with ADHD is tough, and it can be really challenging because nobody knows what it's like to be inside our brains, but we also have to remember that it is our responsibility to show up for the people we love.